Greetings. This is Jobless Talk Rant for February 4th, 2011. My show today was titled, How Stupid Do They Think We Are? But before I get going on my rant today, this little snippet is in response to some feedback that I received from the listeners of my last week's show. Last week I didn't do a rant, but I did do a show, my Jobless Talk show on Blog Talk Radio, me, Paladinette. And this comes from the heart, people. To any of my listeners who are conservatives and may have been offended by my radio Jobless Talk last week, I sincerely apologize, as I mean no disrespect to your views, and honestly believe that unemployment and the suffering within the 99er nation is not a partisan issue. Just so you know, I do not only bash conservatives or Republicans, I'm an equal opportunity basher. Just ask my longtime listeners about the countless times that I've bashed people like McDermott, Stabakow, Reid, Pelosi, and others. If someone in Washington, D.C., or outside the Beltway for that matter, who may be considered a movement leader, what kind of movement, I'll leave that up to your imagination, is acting like an idiot or like a stupid asshole, I bash them, period. No sacred cows on my show. Please understand that I try to entertain, inspire, and inform with my shows. It's nothing personal. Sort of look at it like liberals view Mr. Stephen Colbert. We know he's an act, a put-on. What he really just tries to do is make us laugh. We need much laughter within the 99er nation today. And I'm sorry if I've offended any of you who clearly have not yet evolved to the stage where humor is universal. Those of you who may feel so shaky in your lives right now that you cling desperately to those who you see as your saving grace must really ask yourselves, what have they done for you? The honest answer is not a damn thing. And the mere fact that they shirk their duty to act puts them in my radar. Bingo! You know, I was once so deep in depression over my own circumstances and my own feelings of helplessness, being an unemployed exhaustee, way back when we exhausted after 2 tiers. Anyways, I was almost where you guys are at. Well, maybe not. As I've always clung to laughter as a non-swimmer clings to a life vest. So stop being so sensitive and consider the possibility that if your favorites, your dimpled darlings, are being bashed by me on Jobless Talk, you might want to slam their behavior rather than criticizing me for honestly calling them out on their shit. And if that doesn't work for you, and you still feel an uncontrollable urge, let's say, to dictate what gets said or not on a radio show, may I suggest that you get off your lazy, hypercritical butts and begin your own show? If you think it's that easy, try doing it yourself for a week, or 2, or 3, or 8, 10 months. Week after week. Do that for a while, and field the crap that people say about you. Who knows, you just might have a different perspective after you yourself become the target. Or better yet, you might actually want to consider that it could do some good. Yeah, it could do some good. Do your own show catering to the stuffy, humorless conservatives that cannot stomach my show because it hurts their feelings. Oh my God, I feel a boner coming on. That's boner as in John Weeper of the House. Anyways, I couldn't resist. Okay, now, today's rant. It is estimated that the number of unemployment insurance exhaustees will increase by 4 million in the year 2011. the economy will have to produce 334,000 new jobs each month just to employ these new 99ers that are coming down the pikes. Not to mention the offset of the other 450,000 or so jobs lost every week, evidenced by the new UI claims each week here in the United States. Do you recall a few days ago when it was speculated that the unemployment percentage number might rise and that there likely would be a job creation number somewhere around 159,000 jobs? But today, miraculously, they announced only 39,000 jobs were created, and yet they expect you to believe that somehow, magically, miraculously, the unemployment rate in this country fell to 9% even. Give me a break! This begs the question, how stupid do they think we Americans are? And who can blame them for thinking that way? After all, we were the ones that were dumb enough in this country to allow the proper conditions, whatever conditions were necessary, to put Boner in as House Speaker anyways. Not that the Dems are that much better, because they had their chance and they frickin' blew it. I think this unexpected, bold-faced lie about the significant drop in the national unemployment rate may just indicate something else. You know, it could indicate that they're gearing up to deny the 99er Nation, both long-term alumni and the newbies that come down the pike, any further help by saying, hey, look, it's getting better. Sorry, Washington, that ship has sailed. I'm afraid that that's not good enough. Ignore us at your own peril, political or otherwise. Yes, the new big lie of 9% unemployment rate may just be smoke and mirrors to justify not doing a damn thing in Congress to alleviate our suffering. But just for a moment, consider that it could actually be something else entirely. In addition to that pungent odor of mendacity up on the hill, it might just be fear. Yes, fear. With what's happening now all over this world, and most recently in Egypt, I believe that it is no accident that the DOL thought it prudent to lie about the current unemployment rate, as I feel our government is more than just a bit scared at this time that Egypt-type uprising could actually happen here in the United States. Listen carefully. Be afraid, Washington, D.C. Be very afraid. You have worked very hard to earn it. Now, did anyone hear Obama's rant the other week about Egypt being wrong to cut off internet access to people? Do you know the very day, that very same day, Republican Senator Susan Collins began floating a piece of legislation which, if passed, would grant the president the power to do essentially the same thing here in the U.S. of A. Yes, I kid you not. The so-called Internet Kill Switch bill was approved by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee back in December. But it expired once the new Congress assumed power a few weeks later. Collins, who serves as the Republican ranking member of the committee, says legislation would, the legislation wouldn't allow the president to actually kill the internet, but would simply give him the ability to shut down crucial infrastructure in the event of serious cyber attack in this country. Bullshit! Bullshit! Oh, excuse me, Senator, but I know a fairy tale when I hear one. I may be blind, but I am not stupid. And I really believe that Congress is hell-bent on screwing the little guy because they think we do not count, simply because we're not among the rich elite class. And to that I say screw them. I also believe that in America today, there exists a growing hunger to appropriate, by force if necessary, the change we were promised in 2008, but have not yet experienced. And nothing quite motivates massive public uprising like being hungry, metaphorically and definitely, literally hungry. I have a funny feeling that unless something changes very quickly, that we're going to we in this country are going to make Egypt look like frickin' Mardi Gras. Oh, by the way, did you happen to catch Joe Biden's remark earlier this week on MSNBC? It got hushed up pretty quickly, but basically Big Mouth Biden said, and I quote, "Egypt doesn't have control of its people the way we do here." Well, I personally feel that Mr. Obama should not count on that. And I think Congress is feeling the same concerns. Yes, it could. And I believe it will happen here unless something very quickly changes the 99er Nation situation. And the situation for tens of thousands of jobless Americans, like 39,000 a week that join our ranks every week. Be afraid, Washington. Be very afraid. I want to share with you just one of the thousands of emails I get every day. I get emails like this from 99ers and unemployed, impoverished Americans every day. And this one says, first they deny extending benefits to exhaustees. Then they deny that they even exist. The U.S. government is blatantly sweeping 6.4 million unemployed Americans under the rug. That number is growing every day. It's easier for the government to say that we're not looking for jobs when they damn well know there are no jobs to look for unless you go to China, and who can afford the commute? When the government can reduce the unemployment rate and paint a rosy picture of the economy and get Obama back in the White House, bullshit. The working class and middle age were wiped out in this recession while only corporate stocks are recovering. The emailer goes on to say, I am so pissed. It's a good thing I don't have access to any serious military weaponry. I wouldn't know where to begin. Now, people, I'm not saying that we got to explode things or blow things up or take guns in the streets. I'm saying that the uprising is coming. And I'm not Glenn Beck. I'm not trying to, make shit up. I'm trying to tell you, when people are hungry and they're mad as hell, they're going to go fight for their survival. Maybe if we weren't so spoiled as a nation years before this, we would get out from behind our Nintendos and get out there now and get the job done. But maybe when the weather clears. But that email says it all, really, doesn't it, though? Well, nation, what are we waiting for? Let's get her done. Let's go. Who's with me? And before we go, I want to show you. I want to show you a really cute little depiction from Bud Myers. Oh my God, is this man talented. See that little Egyptian thing here? It says, you can't see it, but it says here, Tier 5 to survive. And then it goes on with another Egyptian hieroglyphic thing. This one's wearing a 99er pin. It says, my government doesn't count me. And the gentleman there says, then walk like an Egyptian. And the rest of this is the masses in Egypt that say, we refuse to be treated like 99ers. It's time to get out from behind the fear. It's time to grab your cojones, and it's time to remind Washington, D.C. they work for us, not the other way around. Be politely in their face every single day. Get out there. Go to their offices. Talk to their staffers. Call them. Let's get her done.